Wow. So we're going to be talking about what we spend our money on. And I think to kick it off, I'm going to talk about a story that I had.
Yeah.
It's not really an interesting story, but it just helps us define the conversation. So what I usually do since 2015, I would export my sort of like data from my bank account, and I'll look at what I spend most of my money on. Now, the highest thing is, things I have to pay back. The next from that, I realize I'm quite a generous person, so it's to family members. But then third to that is food. It's food. Do you know what I mean? And when I'm seeing how many times I went to Nandos, I remember, I think it was like 2 years ago, I went to Nandos like 22 times.
Wow.
Yeah, 22 times. But on those 22 times, I know it was because Nando's was the place to go to break bread, have conversations, meet with people in different industries and all that kind of stuff.
Plus, you're getting half a chicken for free.
This is what I'm saying, exactly, Let's not forget that at all. But yeah, food is a big thing,
Yeah.
because obviously if we removed all those things I had to pay back, then food would be the biggest hitter. And I'm just thinking to myself, what is it about food? I think food is a social thing. You have conversations around food. Even cooking is a social thing if people still do that anymore. And we sort of eat emotionally as well. When I'm feeling a bit low, I'm thinking about, a stack of ribs or whatever it is, or go to Nando's or whatever it is. So food connects to how we feel sometimes.
Yeah.
But then obviously we spend our money on other stuff as well. It's not just food.
No, definitely. I think when I've done budgets for people, and I've been doing it for years now, doing the budgets, the main number one is food.
Okay.
And I think it is an emotional thing, because when you're happy, you want to go out and eat.
Yeah.
When you're sad, you want to order a takeaway and eat at home. Or when you're watching a film, you might want to eat a pizza or whatever it may be. There are certain emotions. And I grew up in a household where we didn't just eat because it's dinner time. We had to enjoy it. Like, we had to sit down, eat. There has to be something on the television. Like, even now at work, like, I'll have my lunch break. Like, I've got to get my phone out.
Wow.
I've got to find something on YouTube, do you know what I mean, to watch whilst eating. It's a process.
Yeah.
It's not just eating, do you know what I mean?
Can I just interrupt you there? Do you take things out of your pockets when you eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too, bro.
I thought that was normal.
No, but some people say I'm weird. Like, I take everything out my pockets.
You got to feel free.
Free!
Come on,
This
you
is what
got
I'm
something
saying.
vibrating on your ears.
No, you can't do that.
Man's free.
Yeah.
Man, take the jacket off,
Yeah.
everything. We're here. Like,
Yeah. You need to enjoy the experience.
It's this time.
Yeah, I agree.
And people know not to disturb me.
Yeah, because
know.
if they do, they're getting airtime.
They're getting air.
Yeah.
No, but can't you stop eating?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, do you know what? It's funny. Like, I remember when I first met Stephanie, and she called me and I was like, I'm eating. She's like, so?
No.
But that's a big, I'm eating. Like, it's...
Why you even answered the phone?
Well,
in
do you
the
know what?
first place?
Obviously, it's respecting it. So that shows priority. So obviously, if I'm answering the phone to you, you're obviously important.
Listen, that's important. So
Yeah.
food is definitely something that
That's
we
one of
spend,
them at least.
and I understand it, but I feel like we still need to do things in moderation. And so when I speak to clients and when I talk to them about, look, we're going to budget, we're going to look at trying to do, I say, look, we're not going to. You're still going to have takeaways. You're still going to have your moments when you want to eat and so forth.
Yeah.
And spend money. But what we're going to do is do it in ration. We're going to put a limit on it. So maybe we might say once a week. Do you know what I mean? Rather than every evening. Do you know what I mean? And so that allows us to have resources. It allows you to have money back. Do you know what I mean? In your pocket going forward. So I think food is definitely one.
I think another one that, and this is dependent on the type of person you are, is holidays. That's a big one. Again, when I looked at my finances, I realized that, for 6 months of the year, usually from around September, October, it was always difficult. And I realized there's like 1 or 2 holidays that I had to take or took, I didn't have to, but I took. And it affected like the rest of the sort of like year, or whatever it is, And again, that comes down to emotion, because if you think about it, you go on holiday for 5 days, 10 days, whatever it is. You're like, oh, that was amazing. Really and truly, 2 days is for setup. The last 2 days is preparing to go back to the UK. And you're imagining living a life that is not going to exist unless you plan and think about spending your money elsewhere on other things that are going to create that lifestyle for you. So a lot of what we spend our money on is heavily emotional, And at what point, and I think we were discussing this before, at what point do we say enough is enough? Or we're doing too much of whatever.
Yeah, I think when it comes to holidays, I think also we have to remember that it's a business, it's an industry.
11 billion.
So these companies are purposely making us feel like we're missing out. We live in a country where we can have 4 seasons in one day. So when it gets cold, like today was cold. So the first thing you're going to do when you're going to go online, you're going to see people on the beach. You're going to see sun. You're going to think you're missing out. I'm hearing this cold while people are enjoying. I'm going to my 9 to 5 while people are sitting on boats or doing that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that whole thing perpetuates and it plays on your mind. And when you see it every single day, adverts telling you need to go away. You'd be much more happy if you was away. All of a sudden you start to believe it. And so we've got people who go on holiday 3 or 4 times a year, whether they can afford it or not, because to them that is a must.
But to me, that makes me think about human responsibility, you know, and where do we start to become responsible for, having fun and, you know, thinking about our well-being, but also removing from delusion as well, you know, because you can go through cycles, years, maybe even decades, of continuously going down this rabbit hole of, I just want to have fun. I'm fed up of austerity. I'm fed up of feeling this way. I just want to go to this holiday or eat this food or whatever it is. But then you realize, you look back 10, 20, whatever years, that you haven't really achieved anything because you've been spending your money a certain way. So where, like, obviously being a financial advisor, I would say you have a better understanding.
Yeah.
Where's that level playing field?
I think it's balanced. That is that level playing field, and I think it's about not saying that you can't have something, but limiting yourself as how many times you do have that. And so it then goes to your pocket. So if you say I want to go on holiday 4 times a year, then you either have to know that I have to earn a certain amount to afford that, or if I earn less, then my holidays will be shorter and be more closer to home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe I might get one bigger holiday if I really am stringent and save, or maybe I need to get an extra income and that all that money, because I don't need it to live, that can go to save towards my holidays if that's my priority. Do you know what I mean? But for me, I want to build wealth and build assets that can allow me to be on holiday and not be on holiday.
And do you know, sorry, you want to say something?
And I don't know if that made sense to people. What I'm saying is that I could be in another country and I could still be at work.
Of course.
Because I've now got enough income that I can work from my laptop. Or I've got enough income that actually my business is being a landlord. And I don't need to be in the UK looking at those houses to do that. And so I'm getting that income from that, which allows me to be on holiday whenever I want to be on holiday. And I don't have to worry each month. I don't even know when payday is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And so to me, that requires sacrifice. And it's what we call that term that I'll always use, delayed gratification. You see, we are taught to be gratified up front. I want something, I want it now. And I want to enjoy now. I want to have that feeling now. Great, that's what food does. You eat that, lovely, enjoyment. It's in the toilet tomorrow. We need to go again.
Of course.
And so when we can delay our gratification, it allows us to then build up money. And when we can build up money, we can then invest that to then have a better life.
You know, everything you're saying makes me think about goals, you know, and I think if we're thinking about this early, goals really should define how you spend your money. And that's how I see it. And the problem is, for many people, they don't spend time to reflect, think about how they think about what they want, think about where they're trying to sort of maneuver themselves in life. And with that lack of sort of discipline or guidance, then you start spending your money on other stuff because you're not aligning it to a purpose.
Sure.
Once you know what that sort of like primary aim is, or that goal is, or whatever it is, then you can say, okay, does spending this serve my purpose? And if it doesn't serve my purpose, does it hit me achieving that purpose really hard or not? If it doesn't hit it that hard, then obviously indulge in whatever it is, because we need to serve that part of our brain that needs to experience and improve our well-being, so to speak. But the other side of us, the human side of us, wants to achieve long-term goals that make an impact for our lives and hopefully other people's lives too. So then it's about thinking about, how am I progressing and how can I measure success against the goal that I'm trying to achieve? Because if you don't have those goals in place, then you're going to be very erratic with your money, and you're going to be looking 5, 10, 15 years down the line and saying, I haven't done anything.
So let's talk another thing, cars.
Okay, yeah.
we love a car.
Rented, yeah?
Rented, leased. Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Like we love a car. And I always thought to myself, what is it about cars that that we love so much.
Ego, man. It's just to say we've got this car. Everyone's jumping on this whole like 4x4 thing, and I've got this, I don't know, Hummer or whatever it is. I don't know. You know, just to say they got it, you know. And I'm not knocking anyone who leases their cars, anything else. That's fine. That's up to you. But it's a lot of it's for show, because it shows a certain class. It shows that you have a certain quality in life, or maybe even wealth status. When really, if we look deep into your life, that's not necessarily the case.
And that's the thing for me. It's the triggers to what we believe wealth is.
Yes.
And so when we don't have something, when we don't have wealth, what we do is we purchase things that will lead people to believe that we do have wealth. So this is why we'll buy cars. And even though we know it's an asset that's going down in value, we'll spend loads of money on it instead of maybe buying a house, which is likely to go up in value, especially in the UK. Or we'll buy jewelry and then have nice necklaces and rings that shine and bling. But like you said, there's that special app, and it's called online banking, and it doesn't lie. And so it's one of them things where we can lie to everyone else on another app called, you know, Instagram and Facebook and
Of
social
course.
media. But see that online banking?
It doesn't lie.
Tell a hella truth.
And it's quick as well.
Really quick.
You know, I guess when you started saying all that stuff, I started thinking about wealth and being rich. And I think for me, what really defines it is mindset. That's what it is. Being wealthy is a mindset, you know, and it's knowing what wealth does and what wealthy people do. Whereas being rich really defines a quantity of something, but it doesn't describe the quality of that thing, you know, whereas wealth does. But you're right, man. You know, how many people actually regularly check their bank account?
Yeah, how many people know? This is one thing I always challenge people. So they'll come to my seminar and I'll go back and tell them, look, I want you to do what we call a quick direct debit health check.
Yeah.
So I want you to go through all your direct debits and see how much you can save.
Yeah.
How many of them can you cancel?
Yeah.
And someone came to my seminar and he managed to cancel, and he managed to save £150 a month that he was just spending on direct debits. He thought that, you know, they give you that free period and they start charging you, or it's £20 and then after 6 months it goes up to £40. Or, so it went through, cancelled £150.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
think about how much, that's 1,800 a year.
Yeah. That's
back in his pocket.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we say, oh, I don't have the money to do this, or I can't afford to do this, or if I earn more, I could. No.
How do you know that?
If you earn more, you would probably just spend more.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually an effect. And I think people are scared to diagnose.
Yeah.
Mentally and their online app or whatever it is, because it means that they have to start making changes that they don't really want to make.
Exactly.
Like obviously I do a lot of executive coaching, and I've accelerated that now. And what I'm realizing quite quickly is that people don't like to be honest to themselves. They don't, because it means they have to change the quality of lifestyle that they were keeping up with. But then they're demanding stuff that they want, but they're not prepared to change.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think about when it comes to what we spend our money on. So thinking about that, do you think there are things that we should be spending our money on?
Yeah, definitely. I think we should. Obviously, we got our needs. So food is still something we need to spend money on. We need to eat. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we need shelter. We need all these basic needs. But also, I feel like to a degree, we need to spend money on educating ourselves on stuff like mentorship, coaching, learning, to try and be a better version of ourselves. We need that challenge. We need that accountability. We need to spend money on enjoying ourselves. So things like going away. Going on holiday doesn't mean that you have to, you know, go on something expensive. You can go away in the UK. You can just go away and just off your phone, and do you know what I mean? And spend time getting to be with yourself or with your loved ones, and just enjoy that moment. So for me, and that's where it comes to mindset, because I've got people who are wealthy, but if you saw how much they make, you wouldn't think that what they make is a lot. But the way they use it, because they've got a mindset of understanding what they need and the lifestyle they are comfortable and happy living, they don't need huge amounts of money to do that.
I think the most sensible thing a person needs to do if they're in a situation where they don't really know what they're spending their money on is obviously, one, diagnose what their account looks like from the get-go. just really understand what's coming in, what's coming out. Number two, well, even before that, I would even define what you want to do, like plan what it is that you're aiming to do, and then diagnose that. But get the advice of an advisor like yourself. Get someone to help coach you through better decision makings and stuff, because sometimes you just need that accountability to make that change.
I agree with that. Go.
And if you can't afford one, then maybe it's about thinking creatively. The point being made is find someone else who can help you if you can't do it yourself. Okay, there are plenty of things out there like Money Saving Expert, but really and truly, like when thinking about like moneysavingexpert.com and Martin Lewis and what he says, there are many things out there that you can sort of like learn from in order to better your finances. There's even obviously I think there's this book called Money. It looks like a Monzo card. Great stuff from a British perspective. But there are people like yourself and other people who can help you come out of the situation that you're in. It's just whether you're willing to be disciplined to do what it takes in order for you to make that change. So spend your money and have fun, but also be cognizant of what the main goal is.
Exactly. Have goals, have plans, look to the future, look to things that you're trying to achieve, and you'll get there. And at the end of the day, for me, it's what's important to you. I think we all reach a time. Sometimes you need to go out and just splash money and spend it and have fun, and then realize, oh, you know what, I've wasted 2-3 years, but I have great memories. Do you know what I mean? I've wasted the money. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? I probably could have bought a house that's probably a house deposit that I've spent. But I've got great memories. And sometimes you need that. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And other times you can put your money and be resourceful. And there's so many things, like, obviously, like what we do. Do you know what I mean? If you want to get a house, there's so many things out there on social media, but it's what you choose to follow, what you choose to look for, what you choose to use in your time. Because if you look for the right hashtags, you can find the right information to get you to where you want and what you want to find, and you can allow those voices to help you and coach you, and that's for free. There's so much free content out there now that you have no real excuse.
And that's what I was gonna say. We have no excuse at all. Okay, cool. Let's wrap it up there, man.
Excellent.
Cool.